this was not exactly a very productive week, so let me tell you why. Cheers. Welcome back, everybody, to me doing weekly navel-gazing, where I talk about all the books I didn't read last week, all the books I plan to not read this week, all the videos I didn't make last week, and all the videos I plan to not make this week, and sort of kind of descend into mad ramblings at the end of it. Yeah, I mean, let's do that, shall we? And let's start with reading. I did not read like that much over the last couple of days because I was busy, I was traveling again, and other stuff. I did, however, definitely finish my reread of Desolation Road by Ian MacDonald, and I finished my first reading of Out on Blue 6, MacDonald's second novel in publication order. So that's what I finished. Unfortunately, not much more. And yeah, what can you say? Not that much time for reading and stuff. So let's look at the things that I plan to read this week. And I already know what I'll read tomorrow. And that is Darkholme by Hannu Rajaniemi, which is, coming out tomorrow. It's a bio-sci-fi thriller thing. That's all I know. I really enjoyed the Quantum Thief Jean Le Flambeur trilogy, and I did enjoy Summerland. That was weird. So I expect weirdness, and I hope it's going to be good. So that's something I'm going to read tomorrow. And after that, I don't know, probably I'll just go back to reading or rereading Ian MacDonald books. The question is, do I do another reread of King of Morning, Queen of Day, which I just reread earlier this year when I was on Jared, the Fantasy Thinkers book think conversation thing, and we spoke about the book in detail, so I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do that. The next one after that in publication order would be The Broken Land, which I just read like 3 weeks ago. So I probably won't read that one again either. At least I won't make another video about it. So that's something that I don't fully know yet. This also comes back to videos I plan to make, so I'll just leave it for until now. So let's talk about videos. And yeah, I fucked up. Because see, my plan was to actually record the video for Desolation Road and then upload it before I left for like the next festival. And then my plan was to, because I didn't manage to do that for all kinds of reasons, my plan was to record, and I did record the video before I left on Thursday morning at like very, very early days, very early hours, like at 6:30 or something like that, right? And I figured I'll just like let it render on my computer and uploaded it automatically to Dropbox so I can then access it from my phone. So even though I was at a festival, I could have uploaded the video to YouTube. That was my plan. It didn't work because I accidentally unplugged my computer, so after the battery ran out, the rendering wasn't yet fully done, the uploading wasn't yet fully done, so yeah. I had to render or re-render parts of it yesterday when I came home, and so it's only there yesterday. It is still up. It's the one video I made, but the second video, the Out on Blue 6 video that I was planning to also do, planning to film yesterday and upload yesterday, is not yet done. Because, you know, stuff. So that's why only one video, which brings me obviously to videos for this week. And there will at least be 2. Those being, of course, Out on Blue 6, the second Ian MacDonald book for the slow, like, waltzing through MacDonald's older works, and then, of course, Darkholme by Hannu Rajaniemi whenever I'm done with that book, which I suspect will be soon because it's not a very long book. According to Audible, it's 6 and something hours, so that should be relatively quick. So that's 2 videos that will happen this week. Then, and that's kind of where I wanted to go back to this, if I continue making videos, I made a playlist for the Ian MacDonald thing already, so I'm gonna add the Out on Blue 6 thing, and then there's an old video I made on King of Morning, Queen of Day, which is from, I don't know when, like early beginnings of the channel, like 3 years ago, and the thing I need to figure out is whether I feel that I can just like add that specific video to the playlist, or if I should go and make another video on the same book. I don't think my views have changed that much, so from what I remember I said back then, which, you know, I really don't want to rewatch my video, because it's always painful to hear my own voice and stuff like that. So either I'll just like put it in there, or I reread the book and re-record a video possibly saying most of the things I said back then, maybe saying them slightly better, slightly differently. I don't know. And that's something I just don't know what to do there. Like, let me know what you think in the comments. Do you want me to basically redo a video that I did all back then, or do you think it really doesn't matter because who cares about Ian McDonald anyways? Yeah, just be interested in your thoughts on that. And then, of course, I'll just add the Broken Land video to that playlist as well, and then we'd be up to like 4 books in his publication order already. After that, the next one would be Necroville, which is sometimes called Terminal Cafe in the US, I think. That's the next one in publication order, and maybe I'll start reading it this week. I don't know if I'll start if I'll get far enough to also make a video on it. We'll find out. Maybe there'll be other videos that I kind of just stumble into making. We will find out that part as well, because this week is somewhat busy for me as well, as I am doing this assessment of my ability to work thing that takes like, I don't know, 6 hours, 5 hours every day in the beginning, in the mornings I have to go there. If I actually want to go back to the gym as well, that covers most of my day, which will basically slow down production of videos and reading in general for this week, because it's, something different, something new, something that I haven't done in a long time. So we'll see how that impacts output. I don't know. I just I'm confident I can do both Out on Blue 6 and Darkholme, and that kind of gives you a heads up what to read. If you want to sort of stay up to date with what I'll plan on videos, then yes, Out on Blue 6, if you can get it somewhere, it's a crazy story, I can tell you that one. It's insanely crazy, and it's funny, and it's profound, and it's maybe cyberpunkish, but it's maybe also just like insane. Go read that one, and read Darkholme. I think, it's always nice when a sort of lesser-known author like Hanoraya Anyemi, who has been sort of gone from like the picture for a lot of people, has like a new book out when people actually talk about it close to like release date. I usually try that. We've seen that it has been phenomenally successful with the Nalo Hopkinson's Blackheart Man, which almost no one seems to have read or talked about yet, but it is what it is. Same with Six Lives by Lavi Tidar, which also no one has talked about yet, but what can you do? So I'll continue down that sort of trajectory for the next couple of days, make these videos on books. It's sort of something I can feel relatively confident about, and maybe, just maybe, I'll finally get around to sort of plotting out the whole damn conspiracy fiction video, which I really want to do, but with the last weeks having been somewhat turbulent in all kinds of ways, I just don't know how long it takes to get that stuff like figured out. I wish I knew. It's difficult, is what it is. And that's kind of the thing, right? It's like, I've been thinking about that. Last week I said I would make videos on maybe something more meta on the larger booktube sphere, on the whole like the dark side of booktube thing, or I still have this idea about like disability and stuff. But those I have to be in the right mood for, and maybe the whole like dark side of booktube thing has already passed again, and it's not worth talking about. Also, I guess it can't be done without maybe annoying other booktubers. The question is always like, do I want to do that? Do I want to get into the drama with that? I just don't know. Right now, I'm once again like this week is going to be very much like assessing like both like in that official way capacity, but also like on a personal level, probably be very much about me trying to figure out what I really want to do with my life, where I want to go, what kind of stuff I could potentially do, whether, all of these things sort of. It might be a more introspective week is what I'm saying, because the last weeks have been very, very turbulent in all kinds of ways. So maybe I'll feel introspective enough to make that kind of video on the disability thing or whatever. Or maybe I'll go like, well, fuck it, I don't have much time. I'll just get home tired from like having to talk to doctors and psychologists and whatnot all day. Then I'm going like, well, all I can do is talk about one book that I've just read. I don't want to deal with much more like brain stuff. I don't know. It's one of those things where I sort of need to sort of get out of the... I've spent the last couple of weeks, months doing a lot of like heavy metal stuff, and it's great to sort of be back in that sphere. It brings me a lot of joy, of course, but it's also interesting to realize that, yeah, this has to slow down. I can't do this like every week. Obviously, I can't afford it, don't get me wrong, but I also can't, do this like on like a physical and mental level for their own time, unless there is, you know, some sort of like additional reason for me to be there, like, I don't know, in a more professional capacity. And as long as that's not the case, I feel it's time to sort of slow down and prepare for the long descent into autumn and winter, which are traditionally times when I struggle more with like questions of life and meaning and all that stuff. So maybe it's time to sort of mentally prepare for that. If all goes well, I'll be doing some sort of presentation kind of thing in October on the Situationist International, which is a nice thing because it might give me another reason to sort of get my shit together on the whole conspiracy fiction video, because yes, the Situationists will be sort of integral to that argument in the conspiracy fiction video. So maybe that's the additional booster in like sort of motivation that I need. We will find out. It's, you know, as I said, it's one of those places. I've spent a lot of like thinking over the last week on like how I want to sort of engage with the larger booktube sphere. I always joke about like I'm not really a booktuber because it sometimes feels like I'm not part of that community, or large parts of that community. Like most people rather would not have me there either, or like are very, very happy to ignore me as long as they can, and that obviously brings the questions like, do I actively try to be part of that? Do I actually actively try to sort of be at least accepted or respected or whatever by other creators, and if so, which ones? And those are things that kind of once again tie back into that whole like dark side of booktube kind of thing. And yeah, it's something I need to figure out for myself, and figuring out stuff for myself is not always the easiest. So we'll see how that goes. I feel like I'm mentally in a pretty good place today compared to sometimes last week, so maybe that's a good thing. Beyond that, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you did like the last week. I'd be very happy to hear about it. Tell me what kind of books you plan to read this month. Tell me what kind of books you've read last week. All the good stuff. Let's have a conversation about all of that in the comments. If you want to, you know, go and read Desolation Road, I highly recommend doing that. It's a wonderful book if you can get it. Same for Autumn Blue 6. It's certainly something unlike everything you've read before. Not everything, but it's certainly weird in ways that you might not expect. Check out Darkholme. It's coming out, as I said, tomorrow. Check out King of the Morning, Queen of the Day. King of Morning, Queen of the Day, depending on whether you have the US or the British or the UK version. Check out Hands, Hearts and Voices and The Broken Land if you haven't yet. And then maybe you'll be up to date when the new videos come out for the Ian McDonald thing. We have a long list of stuff that we can talk about, and my goal is sort of to see if I can integrate all of that into like a larger arc on like how style and concerns of authors kind of shift over time. I think that's always interesting finding out. So yeah, that's sort of the rough plans. Let me know if you want me to revisit King of Morning, Queen of the Day, or if you think I should just like take the old video and just like integrate it into the playlist. Those things will happen over the next couple of days. Beyond that, yeah, I'm just happy I'm around, and I'm very, very appreciative of all of you that are still out here, sometimes watching my stuff, sometimes commenting, sticking with me. I know I'm not exactly making it easy for most of you, so thanks. I really appreciate all of that. Yeah, I don't know, like and subscribe, do the things. They're out there. Maybe join the Patreon if you feel like it. Maybe don't. As long as you're having a good time, and as long as you don't mind sometimes talking to me, I'm a very happy person. And with those wonderful words, I'll leave you to another week. Thanks and cheers.